Hi, welcome along to Transfer Daily, and some really hot rumours going around today. Really bold rumours coming from the website Caught Offside that claims that Sami Khedira is going to be signing for Arsenal today. Those are their claims yesterday, that they've been told that Sami Khedira, everything's been agreed, the players agreed, and that he's going to sign today. Now, those are very, very bold claims. If they come off, you look like a genius. If that doesn't happen, everybody looks at you and thinks, what a mug. Bit like me with the Loic Remy thing, where I said it was a definite. Listen, no deal, as we know, is ever definite. But that's what they're claiming today, that the Khedira deal has been done and that he's going to sign today. Listen, it was very telling the other day that Wenger, when pressed on Khedira, didn't really want to go into any names. So it looks obviously that Khedira is definitely a big target for Arsenal. Real Madrid now, they're signing James Rodriguez. They've spending lots of money, and they're going to have to let players go. With financial fair play, they're going to have to let players go. And I still think Khedira seems like the obvious target. Whether it'll be today or not, I don't know about that. But it still seems to me that I think Khedira is probably the #1 player that they'd like to bring in that midfield. Or is it William Carvalho? Now, I hope I pronounced that right. I'll tell you, my Portuguese is terrible. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But again, a player that Arsenal have reportedly put a bid in for. We heard yesterday the reports that Arsenal have bid for him, but way, way, way below his 35 million euros release clause, which is a bit ridiculous. They're never going to get that for him. Carvalho, young kid, but a lot of people looking at him and saying this kid's possibly the new Vieira. He really looked impressive when he came on for that one game for Portugal in the World Cup, and has been getting rave reviews for playing for Sporting Lisbon. Arsenal reportedly looking at going in with another bid there. Even though there is that 35 million euro release clause, there are rumours that Lisbon would take a lot less than that, as long as it's a much better offer. So will this be the defensive midfielder? And he is a proper defensive midfielder. Would he be the person that Arsenal go to? Because it's been very interesting that they put a bid in for him. Another player, defensive midfield player, that now looks like he may not be coming to Arsenal. Been a player that's been talked about. According to some papers, may snub Arsenal for Spurs. He might need his head tested. But that's Morgan Schneiderlin. Of course, he used to play for new Spurs manager Pochettino when there was at Southampton. There are reports that he would prefer to go to Spurs, or probably he realises that Pochettino will be more likely to play him, and he probably realises that he's not the first choice that Arsenal are looking for. So he's more interested in Spurs, so it may not be Schneiderlin. So that starts to whittle it down. Who will it be? Will it be Khedira, Carvalho, or is it going to be still Lars Bender, who a couple of days ago when we did a poll on the website, he picked up most of the votes off of fans for the player they'd most like to see come in and fill that position. It'd be interesting now to see what it'd be, because Carvalho definitely interesting a lot of fans as well. Of course, previously a target for Manchester United as well. Another deal that I think this deal will get done this week is David Ospina, the Colombian keeper. I think we were one of the first people to tell you here, even when it was way, way under the radar. Nobody was talking about it. I told you that Ospina, from an ex-player, Arsenal player who's very, very close to the club, told somebody that I know that is the #1 target for Arsenal. David Ospina, not Joao and all these other targets that have been linked. Ospina, it's now looking increasingly like that's going to get done. He's turned down a move to Valencia, who've come in and offered move. He's reportedly turned that down, and all the reports are that is going to be a deal that's going to get done this week. David Ospina moving to Arsenal, and definitely we're going to need a backup goalkeeper. And you know what? This guy's good enough to take over the #1 spot if Szczesny's not in his toes as well. And that's what you need. You want proper competition in that spot. So Ospina looks like that's going to be a deal that's going to get done this week. Now, the other intriguing thing that out today is that, of course, we were all talking about strikers yesterday. Now, looks like Loic Remy, who I was told was a nailed on to come to Arsenal, just like last year I was told, nailed on Higuain to come to Arsenal. Listen, things happen in these deals. He was a #1 target, but then the whole Sanchez thing came along. Arsenal moved, they've got Sanchez. Are Arsenal going to get a striker now that they've let go Loic Remy? Because we were told it's going to be the wages was the problem, but I'm hearing that Liverpool's deal might be 60, 70,000 a week, which would be a lower on his demands for wages. So was it wages that were a problem, or is it just that Arsenal don't want to, feel that now that they've got Alexis Sanchez, they don't need another striker, which I think would be a mistake. But looking at these quotes to come out from the Express paper, these are quotes from Arsene Wenger. He says, up front, we don't need anyone. It's not especially for numbers. We need a goalkeeper for sure. And after that, it depends on how our midfielders get through without injuries until the start of the season. Maybe at centre-back, we'll still bring one in. I don't like those quotes. That's starting to sound like the old Arsene Wenger. I've been really loving the new Arsenal transfer policy where, excuse me, we've been very bold this season, where we've been very aggressive and going out there and making things happen. That sounds like last year, the year before, how we speak. I'm hoping that that's just a smokescreen and that we are looking at a striker, because we need a striker. I mean, yes, don't get me wrong, of course Alexis Sanchez can be converted into a striker. Of course Theo Walcott can play in that position. We've got Giroud. Sanogo, I was watching him on Saturday. Listen, I know it's only a pre-season friendly, first game of the season, but he still looks very, very raw. We need another striker. We need another proper striker. That's what most of the other clubs, you look at City, Chelsea, Manchester United, they have a 3 to 4 strikers. Listen, we need a striker, and I'm hoping that Arsene Wenger is just playing a bit of mind games, because surely he must realise that he needs a striker. We do not want to be in a similar situation like last year. And I know we brought in Alexis Sanchez, but I still think we need one more striker. Last, we don't seem to be keen on getting another striker, but we seem to be keen on getting another right back. We've been linked with Manquillo. We, of course, have bought Debuchy. Now, apparently linked with another right back, Gino Peruzzi, Argentinian player, plays for Catania, and 22 years of age. Apparently, we're interested in signing him as well and inquiring about making an offer. Now, another right back? How many right backs are we going to have at the club? Listen, forget about right backs. Let's get some strikers in. That's what we need right now. We need some strikers. Let's get into some of your guys' comments and see what you guys are saying about the transfer situation. Big week, I think, this week. Definitely, I think someone's going to come in this week, so it's going to be a big week. Ollie Tan says, who's going to be our backup goalkeeper? Well, David Ospina, I think, is looking almost increasingly nailed on, unless something last minute happens that he's going to be the person that's going to come in. Sam Jacobs says, I personally think Arsenal need to sign Balotelli as well as Khedira. I also think a goalkeeper and a centre-back. Nico Vid says, just seen an article saying that Khedira would be included in the deal for James Rodriguez, going with Khedira going to Monaco, as they're willing to meet his wage demands. I don't know. Would Khedira want to go and play in Monaco rather than come to Arsenal? If he did, it would all be about the money, because, you know, I think that'd be, I don't know, after he was winning the World Cup and that, I don't know. I don't know if that is going to be something that happened. Luma7 says, caught offside as some fairy tale site. That's what he's saying. He said, Dave made some bold comments today saying that Khedira is going to sign today. Listen, if it comes off, as I said, they look good. If it don't come off, they look rather stupid. To actually quote the day, like you've had some, to do that, you've had to have had direct information. Callum Rowling says, thoughts on the links to Carvalho. Listen, again, I like the links. He looks a good player to me. He looks a very authoritative player. Would be just what we need, because we need players that are going to be good off the ball. But then if you're telling me, if you're saying to me him or Khedira, I'd still opt for Khedira. I'd still be more on the side of Khedira. Callum Reynolds also says, what if Arsenal considered bringing Alex Song back? No. I don't. Listen, Alex Song did all right for Arsenal whilst he was there. Arsenal sort of made Alex Song. He ran off to Barcelona. It's not worked out for him there big time. But I think we can do better than Alex Song. I think Khedira would be a much better option, or Cavallo. I prefer Bender rather than Alex Song. Neil Pandit says there's no point in buying a winger and then converting him into a striker. We need a proper striker who needs no conversion. Listen, Thierry Henry was a winger when we bought him, and he didn't do too bad. So listen, you can't always fault that. But I still think we do need a striker. Joe BX disagrees. He says we don't need. Ooh, lost him there. Let me see if I can get him back, because he's making a very good comment. In the meantime, there, Omar Farag says, why not get Stephen El Sharari? He was linked at one time. I haven't heard a lot about him recently. Sign Griezmann, says Arsenal guy, and play him as a left winger and Cancelo as a right winger and Sanchez through the middle. What do you think? What happens then to Theo Walcott if you do that? Denny's Kinvlad says, oh, lost him as well. The comments are coming in rapid here. Let's get to this one. Yahib Ali says Khedira is a great player and Yaya Toure is a defensive midfielder. He attacks at defenders too. He's best a defensive midfielder. If we had a player that could attack and defend, it would be a great addition to our squad. Enchanted Titan says Khedira will be a great signing, although Jackson Martinez would be a straight fit. I'd love to see Martinez. I think that'd be good. Arson is just playing around, says Arsenal alcoholic. He's still going to bring in a massive signing. Yeah, but is one of those massive signings going to be a striker? That is the question that seems to be on everyone's thing. Charlie Shaw saying Khedira deal is done. How do you know? Joby X says we don't need. Oh, I got him back. He says we don't need another striker. He says we have Giroud, Sanchez, Sanogo, Walcott, Campbell, of course. I forgot about Campbell, Podolski, and Akpom can play there. If you add another one, it will affect all the others. Game time. He makes a great point there. Really was impressed with Akpom on Saturday. And listen, it's a friendly against Boreham Wood. It's not playing against Chelsea. Campbell, maybe Arsenal's looking on it and thinking, well, listen, I bought back Joel Campbell. I don't need to Loic Remy now. I've got Campbell as a backup. I don't know. Loic Remy bangs in goals, though. It's proven in the Premier League. And listen, you can't win a game if you don't score goals. I know we've got goals all over the team, but it's a very important position. We're really going to have to wait and see on this one, but it's going to be really interesting to see what happens. It's going to be a lot of action this week. I feel this being a busy week, especially with Arsenal departing to go out to America later on this week. Will some deals get done before that? Will Court Offside magazine be right and Khedira gets done today? Let's see what happens. Thank you for watching Arsenal Fan TV. We'll be back tomorrow morning with another Transfer Daily.